Good morning, everybody. This is Steve Brummer, and I'm happy to be the moderator for another executive briefing session sponsored by Fabio and the TagoIO Group. And so happy to have Bruce Chatterley from Senet joining us today. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Excellent.
Morning.
Thank you. So as you all know, if you've been a follower of these executive briefings, these are 20-minute, 25-minute executive talks, conversations, learning more about our guests and what they're doing and what their businesses are all about, and some tidbits of information that maybe we don't know yet. And then Fabio will talk about how those relationships are going between Senet and Tago, and give us some ideas of some of the futuristic opportunities that are there. So how we work, do a brief introduction, I have my questions, and then we banter back and forth. So that's how the format goes for the next 20 minutes. So with that, Fabio, our host and guest of all these executive briefings, give us a little introduction to yourself and to Tago.
Sure. So good morning, everyone. I'm Fabio Rosa. I'm the CEO and co-founder of TagoIO, a cloud platform for Internet of Things. So basically, we created the platform to be an important piece, but not the only piece in the IoT ecosystem. That's why you really do need partners, and that's why you have here Senet, right? So people need to get the data from the sensors, treat this data, and because of that, we created this relationship with the company. So when you need to get the solution, visualization, analytics, and mobile app, and the user management, use TagoIO for that. And for the other piece, using interfaces with our partners.
Excellent. And Bruce, introduce yourself and the company.
Yeah, good morning. I'm Bruce Chatterley, the CEO of Senet. I've been with the company for about 4 years. Senet is a developer of cloud-based software and services for the rapid deployment of IoT networks where they're needed, when they're needed, and at the right cost. So we are really focused on delivering what we call a carrier-grade experience, which means all of our services are SLA backed, our uptime is guaranteed, and we deliver the highest possible quality of service to our customers. We are also we do a couple different things. We're a developer of cloud-based software and services, as I said. We also own and operate the largest publicly available LoRaWAN network in North America, where we cover over 1,300 cities, 50 million population, and growing very, very rapidly. And lastly, most recently, we've announced a couple of new capabilities, one being wholesale interconnection, and the other being what we call Senet Extended Service, which we can talk about a little bit later. I'm sure Steve has a question on that.
You can bet on that one, Bruce. And everybody, I'm Steve Brummer, a partner, co-founder with a company called IoT Group. We're a leading strategy go-to-market BD focused organization. We help companies that have some really great technology and disruptive ideas as how to handle IoT, and help them with their monetization, commercialization strategy, because as Bruce, we were talking about, everybody needs to make money in this business. It's just not about the technology. So that's what we do for a living. So I'm going to start off with a little bit of background information and try and understand a little bit more about what Senet is doing these days. So you've made some great announcements over the last month or two. Bruce, give us a little idea about the Tampa St. Pete announcement, the Helium announcement, and how that all fits into our IoT world and your overall go-to-market business strategy.
Yeah, so our vision about, regarding giving people the ability to rapidly deploy IoT networks is not limited to any one format. Our platform supports the delivery of network as a service, which is where you can get connected through our public network. Our platform also supports what we call platform as a service, which means that customers who need unique coverage models, they may need deep coverage and 3 stories down for a steam trap in a basement. They can bring their own gateways and use our platform to manage both the gateway deployment, and the device deployment. So we really emphasize flexibility and letting customer demands decide how networks get deployed and how connectivity gets accessed. And so in that spirit, we've done a couple things recently, and I'll start with the most recent announcement and then kind of work my way backwards. We just announced something called SENET Extended Coverage. And the first partner in that is a company called Helium, which is I guess the way to term it is a peer-to-peer IoT deployed network. So Helium, if you don't know, is a crowdsourced peer-to-peer kind of network where people are purchasing Helium gateways and deploying them in their homes or on top of buildings. And then those gateways have the ability through a variety of mechanisms to accumulate a cryptocurrency called HNT. And so they've been really, really experiencing explosive growth. And we thought it was important to give our customers access to that type of connection to augment the SENET public and private coverage models. And so we call it SENET Extended Coverage. And what we mean by that is that when you're on a SENET network platform, as I said earlier, you get a carrier grade experience. That means the cloud never goes down, and we have SLAs backing the connectivity service. When you're on extended service, we don't have the ability to guarantee that, because it's what we call consumer grade service. It's someone who's personally deployed it, but they're overlapping coverage models. So, you know, the way they account for ups and downs and power outages and people unplugging and things like that is by deploying very densely. And so the combination, for example, in New York City, where we're deployed in all 5 boroughs, the combination of SENET's network with a very dense Helium network gives us the best coverage on Earth, I think, between the two. And it's a hard claim to back. And so, for example, we have an application running in New York City where with the New York City Department of Health, where we are monitoring all of the food trucks and food carts. And the Department of Health uses trackers to essentially build a route every day and do random health checks and give them a letter grade on the spot. The augmentation of our network with Helium gives the Department of Health the ability to get a more reliable connection, even in remote parts of the city. So that's the Helium announcement. Working our way backwards, we also announced recently a wholesale product. So what this means is other networks that are being deployed, either private or public, can now interconnect with the SENET platform to allow their customers or our customers access to that connectivity. We'll be announcing partners in the coming months. We have a number of technical integrations that we're working on. And then lastly, before that, we announced a major deployment in Tampa Bay. And so we asked ourselves the question, is this industry, well, I guess we didn't need to ask ourselves the question. This is a chicken and egg thing, you know, what came first, the applications or the network? And the lack of proliferation in both, has caused a stalemate. And so we said, okay, what if we deployed a very, very dense, even better than cellular coverage in a major high growth economic center in the United States? What would happen to the applications ecosystem? And so we made a commitment and an investment in the Tampa Bay area. We announced the deployment of that we're planning to deploy up to 80 towers, which covers the entire Tampa Bay metropolitan area. And that will be done before the end of the year. That announcement has stimulated over 100 company conversations, application conversations. So what we proved through this is, okay, there's a market out there, and if there's a network that can do both indoor and outdoor coverage with equivalent or better quality than cellular, then the applications are going to come. So the idea here is that's our laboratory. We're going to prove it. We're going to build an ecosystem there, lift it up, and drop it down all over the world.
Excellent. That's awesome. What a great update. Congratulations on those announcements. It's been definitely spoken about within the industry circles for sure, the things that you pulled off. So Fabio, tell us about the integration between Tago and the platform and the Senet backend, and give us some idea as to what you've been working on in a relationship with Senet.
Sure. So that's what Bruce mentioned, right? The importance to have applications. At the end of the day, that's what you need, right? People normally will say they don't care about the platform itself much or connectivity or sensor. They need a solution, right? They need to design that, okay? But these things should be in place and should be well connected. So we already worked with a Senet technical team. So our platform is completely integrated for them. What that means that if you need to go and get it, one application down there, for example, there are several places, but just talk about Tampa, right? You need to go there, you need to have your solution. You can use it through Tago, implement your solution, Tago, and rely that the system is going to be able to send data and receive data securely, a very efficient way from both platforms, from the connectivity side and from the TagoIO side. So it doesn't matter what kind of application or industry you are on, you can build in Siemens Tago and have not only the data flowing, but all the analytics behind, all the intelligence on top of things, reports to create the solution and get this opportunity done.
So so Bruce brought that up, we just used Tampa Bay as an initial example. We've got 100 companies that have inquired about different use cases. Do end users come to you, or do you have a whole channel of systems integrators and app developers, solution providers that would be referred over to those customers? How does that work?
Yeah, so from our side, okay, what you have seen since we started this conversation for Senet a couple of weeks ago, let's say a short period of time, we had a lot of integrators and service providers. Normally say service provider, those that design for themselves and sell the services. And then you have the system integrators that basically do it to others company, right? So, and they came to us, even offering hardware, say, hey, you have a hardware, want to be part of that. Right, so they can go online. We have our TagoIO/partners website where they can apply and relate to us and say, hey, we have a service here we want to provide. And then we connect this with Senet in this case, okay? Sometimes it's the other way around. They come through Senet and say, okay, great, but I needed the platform because I don't have it. Right? If they have it, they have to go with the Senet right away. If they don't have it and they're going to build that, they can start on top of TagoIO to get and build this the solution that they need to connect it there. So we have received a big number from not only from the United States, Latin America, very cost-effective sensors and complete solution. I know that they're already talking with Senet, China, and other places. So I think I can tell you, I'm very excited about the fact that what Bruce just mentioned about, hey, do you need infrastructure first or application first, right? So now we have the infrastructure, right? So we need to bring, and we are here to help them to bring the application to the marketplace by using TagoIO as a solid platform, as a base.
Excellent. So Bruce, what are the applications that are the most popular, the most inquiries you're getting today? I mean, obviously we've seen, asset tracking being, top fleet and all that other stuff. Tell me what you're seeing out there now from the public, not the other business around utilities, but what's the most popular applications?
Well, I think utilities are important because oftentimes they anchor an application or a network. Hold on a second. I'm gonna figure out how to use this system. I'm getting blocked. We're doing a lot of work in water utilities and natural gas. So we have hundreds of thousands of devices deployed on our network and contracted related to that. Those often anchor a network build, and then we start to expand the number of applications on that network. And what we're finding, to your question, is a wide variety of things that are starting to get scale. So So one of the areas that's really growing fast is in food quality and food safety. So we have at least 4 and maybe 5 customers that are deploying nationwide in the US. So if you think about fast food restaurants and restaurant chains, I would guess that we have between our partners, we probably have 90% of the major chains in the United States covered in terms of their customer list. And I actually looked at our deployment map this morning where I can see all the gateways each day being deployed by our customers and by us. And it's dramatic, the expansion. Each day, the network map goes crazy with that application alone. So asset tracking, as you mentioned, is a very, very key application that can drive scale. And asset tracking, you know, we often think of trucks or cars or motor scooters or whatever. That's interesting and important. And we see a lot of applications. In fact, I saw a number yesterday that in Tampa Bay, it's the 3rd market in the United States for stolen boats. There are 900,000 boats in Florida registered and about 200, I think it's over 200,000 in Tampa Bay. And it's the 3rd, and only 1/3 of those boats get recovered when they get stolen. So really perfect application. We have a partner that is coming into Tampa Bay to solve that problem. And hopefully they can solve it statewide and nationwide. So that's another example of really interesting value that we can add to both insurance companies, to boat owners, and that expands. We are also doing industrial asset tracking. So we have a partner that we'll be announcing in the coming months, a major corporation that has a massive, what they call a laydown yard, which is where the components are to build. And I don't want to give it away, but these massive things that they're building. And every night they have a pick list for the next day's construction. So they have to go to this 1.5 mile square yard in the dark and find each of these parts. And so the application is they now have a sensor, and when they hit a button, the list then goes and lights a light on all the parts they need and shows them on a map exactly where to go. Compelling value proposition, quality, reducing lost items that are very expensive to build, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So another example. The last one, and then I could talk all day on applications, by the way. The last one that I'm really excited about is people tracking. So when you think about a campus, a college campus, a business campus, a governmental campus, each one of these people has usually an ID. Governments often send people into the field, for example, to do wellness checks for social workers and things like that. And so we're really excited about the concept of equipping those people with a LoRaWAN enabled ID badge with a panic button, so that, you know, we not only know where they are, but if they're in trouble, they can press a button. That's really critical. And there's a whole, set of science around, you can't, those blue poles on college campuses, they do no good, because when you're being attacked, you may or may not be near one. So those are
may or not be working.
What's that?
And they may or may not be working.
Yeah. And I could go for an hour, Steve, for, we have automated water management for enterprises, airports, campuses, just growing like crazy. Just really, really exciting growth on our network. In fact, I looked this morning before I lined up here, and we're on a run rate now of 1.5 billion messages on an annual basis.
That's amazing. That's fantastic. Congratulations. That's great numbers. And I think, and you're one of the best kept secrets when it comes to LoRaWAN too right now. I mean, when you look at the things that you're doing and the announcements you're making and the progress you're making, it's a testament to you and your team and what you guys have accomplished. It's fantastic. So,
well, one of the things just to note, we have a strong belief in innovation and creativity and breaking the paradigm. We have a blank slate, as you know, Steve, because you're often writing the channel part and the go-to-market part of the blank slate. We have a blank slate, and we have an opportunity to do it with a customer focus in mind. And so that's why you see a continuous stream of innovation from us, because we believe if we keep the customer in the center of the bullseye, we're gonna basically paint this painting, you know, the right way and be good when the market explodes.
Yeah, as I said in my keynote last week at Sensors Converge, you know, one of the things that's more amazing, I've been in machine-to-machine IoT for almost 30 years. Today has never been a more exciting time to be involved in IoT. You have the Tago platforms, you have the Senet networks, you can find every sensor, edge computing device, cloud providers, every security answers and solutions. It's just incredible now. If you're a company looking to deploy, you have the solutions. You have a lot of stuff here just on this session between the three of us to be able to do and find anything to solve any customer's problem, which is incredible. So proud to be able to say, you know, been in the industry that long, and today has never been a better day to do that. So,
well, one point on that is that you know, for the value of Fabio's platform, you know, oftentimes in our industry, and LoRaWAN in particular, we have a proliferation of devices,
right,
but not a proliferation of end-to-end applications. And so oftentimes customers will come to us with a problem, and we say, yeah, there's a device that is the sensor to solve that problem. And they say, okay, what do I do with the sensor? You know, and so you need the application, you need, and by the way, in between the application and the sensor is a way to translate the codec, to translate the data from the sensor into the TagoIO platform. So Fabio's platform plays a critical role in solving customer problems and creating a flexible capability to do that in an innovative way.
Yeah, and so Fabio, give us a little idea about the management platform of those devices and the infrastructure and how Tago handles that for customers.
Yeah. So first, the basic connection or integration has been done. Okay. So that's something that no one needs to be concerned about. Then you have the device. What we did was create a way that we could easily add a lot of devices, different type of device. So we have, I think, a little bit more than 400 devices, different type of LoRa devices that are already ready to go. But if somebody comes with a new device and just purchase a new device that we are not aware, right? Because devices are coming every day, right? Or they are designing their own device, you have a playbook, and very, very simple. In a couple of hours, this new device can be implemented for those that don't understand how Tago works at the beginning. So we are able to allow anyone to build their own, we call connector, that to be like a driver. Okay, so that's connect any type of the device very, very easily. And we are bringing more. So if you are listening to us here, say, hey, you have more devices, and we want to make this public, they can do it. And that's one thing that you have seen. At the beginning, some companies come to us, okay, no, I have my own hardware, I sell everything. I don't want to sell only the hardware. But what we have seen in our experience that through the time, sometimes 6 months or 1-2 years, say, hey, you know what? I want to sell this hardware because that can be in the marketplace for someone. So they can talk to us and make the device public. There is no cost enough. We just want to make sure that people can see, we can help them, and the other developers or the companies can find the hardware ready to go.
Excellent. So we're 25 minutes in. This is about the limit we usually go on these executive briefings because we want to get this information out as fast as possible. So Bruce, why don't you give us a little concluding statement, you know, a small elevator pitch on why people should come to you, when should they come to you in the cycle, and how do they work with you guys?
Well, I think in the last question, come to us early because we are
That often,
if not the most experienced, one of the most experienced pioneers in this industry, and we can help you design applications right from the start to optimize for the LoRaWAN standard, which I think is critically important. So we're the most experienced. We have the biggest network. We're a carrier grade platform, as I said, which means that over the 4 years I've been with the company, our cloud-based platform has never gone down. I hate to say that, but never gone down. We've never had an outage. Obviously in the physical network, you have outages, you have lightning strikes, things like that. But we have SLAs to bring that back up. So, very high quality end-to-end solution with a very, very strong ecosystem of partners like TagoIO to help you solve problems very rapidly. And I refer people to our website, www.senetco.com. And if you're interested in our ecosystem, on the upper right-hand side is called a marketplace. And you can find TagoIO and a variety of others, hundreds of others in our ecosystem.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Fabio?
Yeah, the same from here. People can go online, Tago.io. They can create an account right away. They can connect. We have simulators now, something new. So people, sometimes they don't have the hardware at hand, so they can start building their analytics visualization. And then they can go to the partners and see what's missing. We always say ecosystem, IoT ecosystem is not simple, right? At the end of the day, you need partners. So we put their system integrators, consultants, right, Steve?
Yes.
Network, right? And hardware provider. Yep.
Yep. And I'm the glue that sticks in between. So at IoT Group, we work with both of these gentlemen and their companies. If you are an application developer, a solution provider, or a vendor in the ecosystem trying to figure out where the money is, how to make money in this thing, because it's still not easy in the sense that it takes a lot along the ecosystem to partner with people and make sure that you have everything in place to be able to provide that total end-to-end integrated solution in a cost-effective manner for a customer. So with that, I'm Steve Brummer with IoT Group. Thank you very much, Bruce. Thank you very much, Fabio. And here's another concluding statement from the sessions of Tago and the executive briefings. Thank you so much for joining us. Hopefully this was informative to you, and please stay tuned because we're not done with executive briefings. We'll have more coming up before the end of the year. And so thank you very much for your attention. Appreciate your time. Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.